This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Here's what went wrong last night. Danny V did not wear any KISW hockey merchandise as he was rooting on the Kraken in Colorado. That's what happened.
What an idiot, right?
Yeah.
Goes to Colorado and doesn't even wear the KSW hockey shirt with the tentacles. Instead, he wears a Kraken jersey, a Kraken hoodie, a Kraken hat to cheer on the Kraken.
And if he had worn the KISW Kraken jersey, T-shirt, or the Kraken beanie, I should say the KISW hockey beanie or the hockey jersey. You know what? Our T-shirt, he would have. In other words, he could have worn a mixed match of stuff. As long as he had a rock product on, it would have given us good luck.
Failed us.
Yeah. So this is what you need to know. If you want to cheer on your Kraken and you want those W's to flow, make sure you have either a rock beanie or a rock hockey T-shirt. Otherwise, I don't think we'll ever see a win again. We'll never win again. So go to KISW.com, keep this superstition going, and get your stuff today.
Let's play B-Migs.
It's time to play the game.
Yes.
So everybody scream his name. B-Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! B-Migs, you're a loser.
It is time for B-Migs, and it's Tuesday, so let's turn down 4 tentacles.
Turn down for what? Release the Kraken.
Yeah, release that Kraken sploosh. And like BJ said, go get a tentacle T-shirt. Yeah, right there at the Rock Shop. Release your money to the Rock Shop. Yeah, let's get to our contestant today. We got Matthew in Woodinville. Matthew, are you there?
I am.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here. All right, goodbye.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Matthew.
For those playing at home,
I'm
Matthew.
release the Tool Kraken today.
Oh, you're going to go ahead and check out Tool?
Of course, yeah.
Awesome.
Town,
nice.
Yeah.
For those playing at home,
traveled to see him.
For those playing at home, Matthew has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Matthew, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
The Beach Boys gave us a 1988 number 1 hit named after which fictional place off the Florida Keys?
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Key Largo.
No.
No. Pass.
Which country started the tradition of the Olympics?
America.
No.
Greece.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've Had the Time of My Life is a song from which popular 80s movie?
I had my life. Pass.
Which state is nicknamed the Mount Rushmore state?
Oh, I'd have to be North Dakota.
No.
South Dakota.
Yes. Who played the title character in the Harry Potter series?
Title character. That's, what's his name? Harry Potter.
No.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yes. What year of the mid-'80s did the Fox Network debut?
85, 86,
No.
87.
86, yes. Who is the current host of Family Feud?
Family Feud is, what's his name? Harvey.
Yes. In what decade was the Nerf football invented?
60s, 70s, 80s.
70s, yes. Which drummer is Kourtney Kardashian currently engaged to?
Not a very smart one.
Wow. Well, based off opinion, I cannot give you that answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct.
That's fantastic. That's a fantastic answer.
That was a good answer, though. I appreciated that.
No,
one,
I will
Matthew.
say this, though. I mean, financially, you're going to be set for life.
Well, there's probably prenups going on with that
no,
stuff.
if you stay with her, I'm saying there's no, you don't need a prenup if you stay together.
No,
I mean,
I
you
guess
don't have
that's
to
a
worry
good
about it.
point.
I should say you don't have to worry about
maybe
it.
2 tops. Sign the prenup. He's got no more than 2 years.
All right, Steve,
All
you're
right,
back.
There you go. Matthew's telling you how it is.
I know. You ready, Steve?
Oh, yeah!
The Beach Boys gave us a 1988 #1 hit named after which fictional place off the Florida Keys?
Oh, it's where I want to go. Kokomo.
Yes. Which country started the tradition of the Olympics?
Country. America.
No.
Greece.
America. Yes.
Nice.
I've Had the Time of My Life is a song from what popular 80s movie?
The time of my... Dirty Dancing.
Yes. Which state is nicknamed the Mount Rushmore state?
Mount Rushmore.
No.
North Dakota.
No.
Arizona.
No.
South Dakota.
Yeah.
Damn it, stupid Steve.
Wow.
Who played the title character in the Harry Potter movies?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yes. What year, the mid-'80s, did the Fox network debut?
Mid-'80s. 84.
No.
85.
No.
86.
Yes. Who is the current host of Family Feud?
I don't even know. Louis Anderson?
No.
Steve Harvey.
Yes. Good answer. In what decade was the Nerf football invented?
The 70s.
Yes. Which drummer is Kourtney Kardashian currently engaged to?
Travis Barker.
Yes. What color bow does the fictional character Eeyore typically wear on his tail?
Yellow?
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You win. 8-6.
Oh, sorry about that, Matthew.
No, it's all good. Good game. I got today's show on the brain, so, yep.
All right.
All right.
I'm
Well,
not sure
next
what that
time have tomorrow's show on the brain.
Not sure what that
Maybe he was thinking about the Tool show because he had mentioned that.
Oh.
So I think he said Tool or meant
the
to say
Tool
Tool.
show. Good job. Good,
Yeah,
good
he's going to go check
translation.
out Tool tonight. So
A lot of people are going. Is that Tacoma Dome?
yes, it is.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. I
I
love
want-
Tool,
I
but
wanted to go, but I was just
Yeah.
like, man, that's a struggle. I have a busy weekend.
yeah, I've got
Yeah.
D&D tonight. I can't make it,
Oh,
unfortunately.
well, D&D, you can't stop that.
Can't let down my group.
And
Yeah.
Tatum's not a Tool fan. I asked her if she wanted to go with me. Father daughter, bonding
Yes,
time.
not into it yet? Okay.
No, she's just like, no, it's not Coco Melon singing.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to hear it.
You figured out the Mount Rushmore state was South Dakota. A little late there.
I'm an idiot, man. That's how my brain works. Like it tries to sabotage myself all
like
the
you were
time.
like,
right.
And then you said Arizona. I'm like, what are you doing?
And then my brain says, no, don't say that. That's probably the right answer. Say something stupid. Like Arizona.
The only other one that you missed was the color bow that Eeyore wears on his tail.
Red?
No, close. Pink.
Pink.
Yeah, it's a little pink bow.
Which is interesting because he is anything but somebody who you think would have a pink bow on his tail. He's just so depressing.
It should be blue, but
he's got the deepest voice I think on the whole cast. It's quite a
everything
dichotomy.
is so sad. Well, except for the fact that you won, Steve. Congratulations.
Some people are
Good job.
saying they believe that Kokomo is not fictional. It's a real beach on the island of Curacao.
All right.
I know there's a Kokomo, Indiana.
Kokomo, Indiana.
Yeah,
Wrestler
I
Carl
wondered
Landers
that
is
too.
from the mean
Did
streets
you
of
see
Kokomo,
that?
Indiana.
Did you see that somewhere, Rev, where they said it was fictional? Because I thought it was a real place too.
I always thought it was fictional because I remember trying to look it up and not finding it.
Oh, so that's
like on
where
the
you
Florida
based that,
Keys.
yeah.
So
guess what? Yeah.
Well, now we can actually go.
All right,
Now
then
you
I'll have
know.
to strike that the next time I
Kokomo.
use that question.
Yeah,
There
I
is
was.
a,
I thought I learned something today, but I did not.
There is a Kokomo City in Indiana. I don't think that's going to be that's about it.
That's what. Isn't that,
Yeah.
Steve, didn't you just say that?
Yes,
I'm looking
I did.
it up. There's a Kokomo in the Fiji Islands.
I don't know what to say.
And
wait,
Kokomo
Indiana?
and Kokomo in Hawaii.
So there's no Kokomo near the Florida Keys?
Nope.
Because that's how the song starts. So it says, by the Florida Keys.
Why would they make up a place that actually does exist?
Yeah,
They
so
could have
maybe
just sang
Rev's
about
right.
the one that did exist, the one in Indiana,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, we'd have to get the lyrics. Anybody got the lyrics to Kokomo available to say exactly what the hell they're talking
on my
about?
ribs. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Yeah, let's check that out.
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you, Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama, Key Largo. And it's off the Florida Keys. There's a place called Kokomo, and there's not.
Yeah. And there's not a place off the Florida Keys called Kokomo, unless it's a bar. You know, I mean,
if there's not a bar on the Florida Keys called Kokomo, they are missing out on the ultimate marketing.
It is from the movie Cocktail, and I wonder if there was anything in that movie called Kokomo. I have no idea. But we'll have to ask Tom Cruise next time he's around.
It's like, I remember, what was it, the Margaritaville? Isn't that like that song from Jimmy Buffett? I remember being somewhere and there was an actual Margaritaville. I'm like, this is amazing. I did not know there was an actual place called
There's actually a town called Margaritaville?
No, not a town, like a restaurant.
That's his
got
place.
His restaurant.
That's because he made the place after the song.
Yeah, that's genius marketing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, for you, you were impressed that Jimmy Buffett had a restaurant called Margaritaville when he. Okay.
Well, I'm saying the Beach Boys should open up a restaurant called Kokomo.
That's what you're saying.
On the Florida Keys.
Here's the thing. It looks like that somebody at a Holiday Isle resort had a poolside bar called Kokomo so they could direct people to Kokomo when people asked for it.
Boom.
Well, wow. Okay.
Genius.
And Tom Cruise was a cocktail maker in that movie. So maybe people think they're going to get Tom Cruise to make him a cocktail at that fictional Kokomo bar. All right.
And there was a Kokomo Beach in Casa Marina Resort in Key West, but it was named after the song.
Okay, so this is all very confusing.
It is.
I want to talk to Brian Wilson. Is this when he had his piano in a... He may. I don't
feel
know.
like this is a Mike Love song, not a Brian Wilson song.
Oh, really? Well, Mike Love did the vocals, so you could very well be right.
I think whoever writes that, if that's a stupid song, I don't think Brian Wilson would write
that. That is a stupid
song,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there is no Kokomo in South Florida.
So, and who wrote Kokomo?
It's listed as John Phillips, Scott McKenzie, Mike Love, and Terry Meltler.
Love. That's
you called it. Yep. You called it, Steve. But Brian Wilson had nothing to do with that song.
There's no way Brian Wilson would do anything with that.
That was a hit, though. That was a really big, popular song for the Beach Boys.
And I'm sure that infuriated Brian Wilson.
Well,
you don't think?
Yeah. Well, Brian, I don't know. Yeah, because Mike has continued the band, I think, without Brian. I think. So you may be right about that. I don't know if those two get along very well.
Yeah, because I would be thinking, if I'm Brian Wilson, I'm like, first of all, that son of a bitch is still doing the Beach Boys thing. That would get under my skin. Then you hear this song and you're probably like, what the hell? I would never make that. Now you got this Kokomo song attached to our band's name, and then it becomes the biggest hit.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's like Beth with Kiss. I'm sure, Gene and Paul were like, the biggest hit for us was written by our drunk drummer.
Yes.
And that probably infuriated them.
Well,
until
that
they
just
got the
goes to
paychecks,
show.
and they're like, well, keep playing it, even if it's Eric Singer on the drums.
Exactly. That's a really good point. Though I will say that Brian Wilson didn't. I mean, he wrote great stuff, but he also wrote some clunkers, too.
Oh, you're right.
And now looking even harder, Kokomo Beach, there is a tiny Kokomo Beach right, I guess, some miles north of Venezuela. A little east of Aruba, which is in the song. So I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's not off the Florida Keys. Florida Keys is not even close to it.
Yeah. You know what? This is a big mystery.
Yeah, this is very confusing.
We have given more time to this Kokomo song, and probably no other radio station has done this probably since 1988.
The weird thing is I heard the song on Friday.
You did? Where?
Well, like I mentioned, there's a wrestler by the name of Carl Randers locally. He's a great wrestler, and he's from Kokomo, Indiana. And so he gets introduced from the mean streets of Kokomo, Indiana.
Oh,
and he came out with the song Kokomo.
Wow, that is so bizarre.
So what are the odds? And today, here we are talking about Kokomo.
That is nuts. So you're well versed. I mean, you just heard it.
I'm living it.
Yeah, you know it.
You're
living the Kokomo, Indiana. It is time for listeners on the loose because really, we're not good at picking topics. We just talked about Kokomo for about 3 hours. So why don't you pick the topic? Why don't you guide the show at 206-421-ROCK? Text us at 77999. We got your calls. We got your texts. We'll take those at 9:20 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. Brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino. Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show at 206-421-ROCK. You can text us at 77999. And when you make your voice heard, make sure you follow Steve's rule.
And that's to show some energy and bring it, BJ. Otherwise, they're going to be gonged. And we're going to have to say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
So I want to know, hey, good morning, everyone. Did you guys see that they gave out the wrong hats at the championship game? The Bulldogs got Alabama hats, LOL. What was your biggest mix-up? Nothing on that level.
Yeah, that was because I mean, a lot of us must know this, but whenever there's a championship game, they always make both sides championship gear to bust it out, no matter who wins. And they busted out the wrong gear, and this should have never seen the light of day. Alabama championship hats for 2022, and that's what they busted out to the winning team, Georgia.
Oh, so great, because it was a player by the name of I think it's Nakobe Dean, and there he is, just like walking around. He's being interviewed, and he's just wearing an Alabama hat that says champions. Even though you got to imagine he's going to look back on that and just get a good chuckle. I mean, it's not embarrassing for him. He just gave him a hat and he put it on.
Yeah, it's a hell of a troll. And I mean, I don't know.
I don't even view that. How is that a troll? It just seems like a screw up.
No, not from him. I think from the person that gave him the hat. I feel like it was an Alabama fan that gave out the wrong stuff.
That'd be even funnier.
Yeah, I think they were like, F you, we should have won. Well, you know what? Here, you're going to wear this anyway. We are the champions.
What's even better, I don't know if you've seen the pictures. So the quarterback for Georgia, who apparently the fans were demanding that the other quarterback would play and he'd be benched, and of course he gets the last laugh and they win the championship. But his name is Stetson Bennett, which to me is already
Stetson. Somebody names a kid Stetson.
That's a cowboy name.
I feel like the parents were they're grooming him to become a quarterback. That sounds like a quarterback name. I'm Stetson Bennett.
They got to be from the South.
Well, he went on Good Morning America. And he looked like he did not get any sleep. Understandably so. His team just won the championship. Dude, this picture of him, it's all over the internet now. He looks so hungover. He had the worst day ever. It's so phenomenal.
Yeah. And he deserves it. It's the first time, since 1980, I think? It's since Georgia won. And, Alabama and Georgia have been, they're rivals, I believe. And I even think Alabama beat them in the regular season. Maybe handed them their only loss. If I read that correctly. So that's a hell of a win for Georgia.
It's funny, dude, on the internet, there are people having a field day with the video clip of him because someone said, hey, breaking news, most hungover man ever goes on to Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Another said Stetson looks like somebody handed him a Pedialyte, told him to have a seat in that chair over there, and I got to respect it.
Oh, yeah. Come on. What are you going to do if you're the star quarterback and you win the national championship over Alabama, who was one of the great teams? Come on. You're going to party.
With that lean, he needs a V8 or something. He's just like, ugh.
Dude, some people were like, get that man a Pedialyte stat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he hasn't slept.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
And he probably doesn't feel so good. I mean,
I might hurl on national television if I was a college football player.
Let's do it.
And you just won the national champion, you just won the playoffs. And
get me a bucket.
Somebody tweeted, get him a breakfast burrito and a nap.
Yeah.
I might even be shirtless at that point. Like, guys, what do you want from me? I'm still drunk from the night before. And then just pull out some Fireball and just crush it. It's Michael Strahan interviewing him. He's had his share of celebrating after winning a championship.
Michael knows.
He's probably like, Michael, I'm still wasted.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know who else is on Good Morning America, but that was, they needed to give that to Michael. Michael's the only one that can really relate and maybe not be irritated.
Do you think they were like, man, dude, Stetson looks like he's still drunk? Well, Strahan, you got to talk to him.
Yeah. Oh, well, first of all, why wouldn't Strahan be the guy to talk to the football championship guy? I mean, that was Michael's sport. Of course. I mean, geez, if he's qualified for any interview, it's got to be that one.
Speaking of it, on the other side of partying, though, somebody said, did you guys hear about Geno Smith and that he got arrested for DUI?
No, I didn't hear about that. Who's he throwing the ball for these days?
The Seahawks.
Still us.
He's the backup quarterback for the
he's
Seahawks.
our backup quarterback. Oh, that's right. Oh, that.
And it looks like it happened after it must have happened probably after they got off the plane from coming back from Arizona.
Oh, that's not good, Gino. That's not a good look. Wow.
No.
Wow. That makes you wonder because the Seahawks do not like when, basically, the not so important players act like idiots.
Well, that's always nice to tell him that he's not so important of a player.
Well, let's be honest, okay? I mean,
come in here. If it was Russell Wilson, we would say don't do that. Don't be silly, but you're not so important.
If he had a better 3 games, maybe.
You gotta win. And then he put up I remember he put up a weird tweet and then he quickly deleted it. He put up a tweet after all this went down and just said, hey, being arrested brings a taint onto the reputation that is impossible to undo no matter what really happened. asking for everyone to hold back on judging me the same way as you do for a family or a friend. I'll have more to say down the road, and I ask that you bear with me.
And he took that down?
No, he didn't take that one down. I'm talking about like after Russell came back, he put up a tweet that just seemed kind of weird. But then he pulled that down.
Yeah. Well, it's, look, I mean, I imagine not everybody's like Matt Flynn laughing all the way to the bank. So it's got to be tough. And then you get your shot. And of course, it's, it's a whole new offensive system. That's the other thing we didn't really think about is, Gino knows the plays. He probably knows everything. And he was getting used to the new stuff just like Russell was. Mm-hmm. And so to have to come in with a new system, with an offensive line that's sketchy, with a team that wasn't really that good, apparently. I mean, that's tough on Gino, and that's probably got to wear on the guy. Though I don't know if that's going to lead him to, do stupid stuff or not. Which he says hold judgment. Maybe he wasn't doing too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but I wonder. I was like thinking about that. Like after you wonder like what's going on in his head because I think the last game he won before Russell came back. If I remember correctly, I think that's how it worked. I can't. But do you think in the back of his mind, he's like, hey, if they would have just let me play and not used Russell Wilson until his finger was fully healed, that the season could have maybe still been saved?
Yeah, I could see how he would think. I could see how he would think that.
I mean, it has nothing to do with the alcohol and the drinking and driving. Obviously, that's terrible. Yeah. I'm just wondering, if he's like a little bitter about what happened at that after he got relegated to being the backup again.
I could see that just because, people are competitors. It's like, let me do this. He's still not right. Let me get back out there. I think I can be better than he is in his current situation. Hard to argue with, how the fact that we lost those games. A lot of those games with Russell not playing well.
Yeah.
So, but, it's you go play. If you're going to go on the Seahawks as a quarterback, you got to know that Russell's got to be dead before he's going to say, I'm not going to start. I mean, really.
It's like being the backup back in the day. It wasn't like the running joke was the backup quarterback for anyone that was like the Colts or the Broncos when Peyton Manning was there. It was just like, yeah, you're just never going to see any time of play. Like, it's just never going to happen. Even if we're up by like 1 billion points, Peyton Manning's probably not going to want to come out of the game. That's kind of like Russell as well.
That's how it is, man. So, well, hopefully, I don't know. I mean, luckily, it doesn't seem like anybody was hurt. No. So hopefully this situation gets resolved properly. Like I said, we don't really know, and Gino's asking us to reserve judgment. So he's a high-profile person, and a lot of times people like to report things that may or may not be completely accurate. I know that's happened to some people I know in life where the story is told in such a way it makes a person look a lot more guilty of something than they really are. But because they're a high-profile personality, they don't care. The papers don't care.
Right. They could have done something wrong, but they're making it out to be way more wrong than what it was.
Exactly. And that we know that's happened. There's a lot of agendas out there. So I'll wait. I'll give Gino the time. So far, I mean, Gino hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything to me.
Yeah, all it said was he was arrested by Washington State Patrol. No other information was available at the time. It did say that Gino was fully cooperative with the investigation. I hope that an open mind can be kept by all as the facts are being ascertained. And that's according to Gino's lawyer, of course, not the police.
Oh, well, yeah. There you go. Yeah. The police please keep an open mind, would you? All right. Well, there you go.
I feel like that he used the word taint.
Yeah, I do.
In his tweet.
That's the best part of it. Right off the bat, you smile and giggle and go, something? Was he going 69 miles an hour? Come on, Gino, give us more info.
Right. Like, if it wasn't for such a crappy story, I would be like, man, that guy deserves an award for working taint into a tweet. Yes. But, of course, the tweet wasn't about anything fun.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to start working taint into I think Gino has set the bar high for putting taint out there. I'm going to do it.
We could do it Taint Tuesdays. At some point, you have to work
Tuesdays.
You have to work the word taint into a tweet.
Rev, are you up for this? Because you're the guy in charge of giving names to the days.
I could probably work taint somewhere and beat Miggs every Tuesday.
All right,
Taint Tuesdays?
Well, you could say you have to say it's Taint Tuesday instead of whatever the heck we're calling Tuesdays.
I kind of like Turn Down for Tentacles. Turn down for taint.
Turn down for taint.
Taint Tuesdays.
Just taint.
Yeah,
Taint
Tuesdays.
Yeah, I mean, we already have a day for the Kraken, so I feel like
you're right. Yeah,
so I feel like Taint Tuesday might be the way to go, and then
it flows off the tongue a lot better than Turn Down for Tentacles.
Yeah, and then do the listeners get a bonus? I don't know. We give them like a prize.
Whoa! That ain't right. If you're going to give them a bonus,
there we go. A shame. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Taint Tuesday's off to a big start. All right. You pick the topic, you guide the show. It is Listeners on the Loose. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. More of your calls, your texts, and your taints at 934 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 1 in every 5 children killed in traffic crashes in the U.S. was a pedestrian. That's why 3M is working alongside local governments and NGOs to help improve crosswalk visibility and traffic markings in school zones, in a worldwide initiative to provide kids with a safe walk to school and access to the education they deserve. To learn more and take action, visit 3m.com/schoolzonesafety. 3M Science. Applied to life.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
VJ, the texters are coming in pretty strong with the new name for, instead of Turn Down for Tentacles, we were suggesting that Beat Migs on Tuesday should be Taint Tuesdays.
Yes.
A couple people have texted saying, how about Turn Down for Taintacles?
Taintacles.
Or Taint Down for Tentacles.
Okay.
Or Tattered Taint Tuesday.
Tattered Taint Tuesday.
Triple T.
So we're really doing this, huh?
That rolls off the tongue.
At least we'll find out on Tuesday if we remember.
Yeah. The only problem I have with involving the tentacles and maybe, I don't want the Kraken to think that we're, they might not want to be part of any Taint Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
we don't want to taint our reputation with the Kraken.
No, we go. There we
point.
go. That's it. That's what it's about.
It's either taint or tentacles. We can't have both.
I mean, we could say Taints Day. I mean, really. Instead of Tuesday.
All Taints Day.
All Taints Day.
All Taints Day.
Yeah. All Taints all the time. All right.
Well, obviously Taint Tuesday should be on a Wednesday because Taint Tuesday, it's Wednesday.
Yeah,
hey. Johnny V. Thank you, Johnny V.
He makes a point. Makes a really good point there.
And to get back to Georgia and their quarterback, a lot of people bring up, you're missing the best part about his name. He's not just Stetson Bennett. He's Stetson Bennett the Fourth.
Whoa, there's been bunches of this has got to be
Bennetts.
He's got to be Southern, right? Anybody know where this kid's from?
It's got to be.
It's got to be. I'm going with Texas. I feel like Stetson is a good Texas name. I mean, because you got the Stetson hat. Where else would it be? I mean, I don't know if other Southern states really care much about the Stetson hat the way like Texas does.
Georgia, that's where he was born.
He was born in Georgia.
Local boy.
Wow. Look at this.
Do you think like his great-great-great-grandfather was like a cowboy with that name?
It has to be, right?
Yeah. All right. There you go. Stetson. Well, that's there you go. That's a Stetson the Fourth.
Stetson the Fourth.
And that makes you feel like it's like you don't do Stetson, like George Foreman, where like all of his kids have the same name. If you're the fourth or the fifth or whatever, that means you're the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, 2 brothers wouldn't count. I mean, which means he's got a father, grandfather, great-grandfather.
Yep.
That's how that works?
Yeah.
All right. Damn.
I'm trying to look up now if his great-grandfather was a cowboy or something like that.
While you're looking, would you rather be a junior or the third or the fourth?
Oh, I feel like the third. It's much more classy.
The third means that you're wealthy.
Oh, because of Thurston Howell?
Yes.
First time for third.
Yes.
Wow, I was like, where did he get? You know what? He does have proof. I mean, there is documented proof on a TV show that the third is the wealthy one.
I think if I was a junior, I would prefer people who said I'm Steve Miggs the second, as opposed to Steve Miggs Jr.
Yeah, and I wonder why people don't do that as much anymore. I mean, that's kind of cool to have a name going through the generations.
Yep.
It's kind of a way to remember somebody who's not with us anymore, because he probably never met his great-grandfather. I'm assuming, unless they have a long line of, they could live long. But how about Stetson's got his great-granddad's name, but maybe never even met the dude?
What if his dad always hated the name, but felt the obligation to name his son that as well? Because, he's the third. So there's been two. He's like, I can't break the cycle.
You think it's a curse? You think maybe it's just like everybody really hates that name? They go, you know what? Somebody named me Stetson, you're going to be a Stetson.
Well, the curse didn't work out for Alabama, if that's the case. Clearly, the name wasn't unlucky.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You're right. This has been it's a good name. Good old Stetson. Boy, I hope he makes the NFL. I don't know what year this is for this kid, but I mean, how cool is that if you'd have a Stetson in the NFL?
Now, what if he has a kid and he doesn't name it Stetson? That would just cause so much family drama, I bet.
Well, that's a male sounding name, but I guess nowadays you can call your kid whatever you want. So you could, if you have a girl, you could keep it going and say your name, you know what, your name's going to be Stetson.
How come girls don't go with like juniors? You never hear I'm Vicky Jr.
Because I think it's about landowning, to be honest with you. I think I'm pretty sure it's all about just men owning everything back in the day. I mean, really, I think if you want to really go, hey, why is that stupid thing going on?
Fun as you'd like it to be, right?
It's kind of, I mean, it really looks, because men retain their names throughout their lives while women traditionally change their surnames.
Oh, it's 2022.
That's a good point.
You know what? Tatum, if you ever have a child one day, name it Tatum Jr.
Oh,
boy or girl.
I thought, wait a second. You just said you hate Junior. Have her name her Tatum the second.
That's a good point.
Yeah, come on, man. Here, Tatum, I want you to do what I hate.
A lot can change in the next couple of decades. You never know.
Yeah.
I might change my stance on Junior.
I really feel like we're going to see lots of hyphenated names, because I do believe people are like, why can't I keep the name I got? What difference does it make? And therefore, it's going to be like, well, yeah, but how are we going to, that's going to take a long time to announce somebody in a room if you figure 10 generations from now, everybody's used every name that they've had.
How far along the line, does anyone have BJ Shea the seventh or BJ the seventh? You know what I mean? How
well,
down?
You're a very lucky person.
I don't know,
there we go.
Kings and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I think the most I've heard is the fourth. I've never really heard anyone the fifth. And honestly, the fourth is it's usually after the third, it just stops.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it should keep going like King Henry VIII. Look at what it did for him and all of his dates. Yeah.
Someone texted, speaking of football, someone texted, hey, did you guys see what the Steelers fans did for the kicker for the Raiders? It was awesome.
Oh, what'd they do?
They apparently, a bunch of Steelers fans found the charities that Raiders kicker Daniel Carlson is involved with and have just been donating buttloads of money to those charities in his name from Steelers fans to thank him for winning that game so that the Steelers would go into the playoffs.
That is a good use of the internet.
It's like a silly... It's like when we joke about the 69 Club. It's a dumb joke, but at the end of the day, the charity is getting more money than originally planned.
So I'm trying to think. I don't have the playoff picture in front of me, so I don't know when it would happen that the Steelers would play the Raiders. I don't know when. They're both wild card teams, which means I don't think they would ever play each other until the conference championship.
Wouldn't that be amazing if it goes to the conference championship and that kicker wins the game for the Raiders?
How crazy is that? Maybe there's another scenario where that could happen, like if all the top seeds lose, but it seems like the only way they could probably play each other would be the conference championship, and that would be awesome.
And if that happened and all the Steelers fans cancel their credit cards so none of those charitable donations go through.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Happen. That's
football fans can be fickle.
Yeah, but he put up a tweet, the Daniel Carlson guy, just said, hey, thank you. Hey, Steelers, please thank your fans who are graciously donating to charities I've been involved with. I'll add some links to the other ones if they want to join in on the fun. Playoffs.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That really is cool. And I really question. I guess I don't question anybody. The idea being is that, why would you do anything to take a risk of losing that game? You saw if the field goal didn't make it and somebody was parking in the end zone, they could run it back. We've seen that happen. In this case, probably it wasn't probable, but still, when you can get in, that all I got to do is do nothing and I get in. I just don't know why you would try to do anything.
Yeah, with 1 second left, I'm willing to take that chance. If I'm the Raiders, I'd be like, yeah, go for the kick, because I would imagine the better because by winning, I think it changes who you're going to play in the playoffs. So they got to think that, they got to factor that in. Like, who do we want to play? Do we have a better seed position because of that? I think there's a lot of factors, and I'd rather end the season on a win than a tie.
Yeah, I would rather end the season going to the playoffs. And so if you told me, okay, if you do absolutely nothing here, you're going to the playoffs, and there is a 0.1% chance you won't go to the playoffs if you do something here. I mean, my brain is I'm all about odds. I'm like, why would I take the chance?
Now, that being said, if I was a kicker and I'm the kicker for the Raiders, and I'm a lifelong Seahawks fan, and I find out that if my kick doesn't go through, the Steelers get screwed, I'm going to turn around and kick it the opposite direction.
See, that's with mine. I want to see that chaos. I want to see the world explode when it actually comes down to a time. Be like, sorry, the laces weren't out.
Wait, Professor Chaos or whatever it is in South Park?
Oh, hell yeah, I am.
And as much as you say, as much as everybody likes Steve, you're being very reasonable, but you know how people were when we didn't run the ball. Imagine if the field goal gets blocked and they run it back, and the people are like, oh my God, we just lost, and all we had to do was nothing, and we would have been in the playoffs. People would have been out of their minds.
Oh, and I think the coach would have to just get fired.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I would just resign.
Why not? I mean, the dude from Miami got fired, and all he did was win 8 of his last 9 games. But yeah, so why not? I mean, there's nothing. You get fired for a lot less in football.
That was bonkers that he got let go. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying, wow, there are so many reasons why this does not look good. I would love to know why. Yes, I mean, unfortunately, you play in that division where New England was always the champion. And then by the time New England started not being so good, Buffalo started rising. I don't know. I mean, still, they had good comeback action last season, I remember, where they started off bad and they ended well. It looks like the same thing this year. You feel like that's something to build on, but apparently not. He's gone. Yeah, so, but I mean, of course, Miami has had a long stretch of doing nothing, and they are one of those teams that did have a history for a long time, even though what's his face, Marino never made it to a Super Bowl, or he never won. I can't remember which one it was.
I know he never won a Super Bowl. I think
he might have he might have made it to 1.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's never won one. So I think Miami's used to being better than they have been in the last decade or so.
Yeah, he did one trip to the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I remember was
it the year that the kicker did laces out? Was it that year? I can't. No, it was a bad age.
It wasn't 85, but it was close around to that.
Yeah. There we go. I see where you're going there.
What was the kicker's name again?
Was it Finkel?
Yes.
Yeah. I just recently saw that movie.
Finkel.
Laces out.
Wow.
So does it hold up?
And I love that Vicky's just randomly seeing this movie.
She just popped up right in her eyes lit up.
Yeah, my dad and I both watched it because it was on during Christmas.
Oh, there we go.
That's a great Christmas movie.
It should be a great Christmas tradition from now on. Every year, both Ace Ventura movies.
Oh, really?
Done.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
I don't remember the second one.
It was the one with the rhino birth.
That's why I don't remember. It was a terrible movie.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was interesting.
Wait, terrible and fantastic. I'm not sure who to believe here.
Well, for me to say a movie's bad, it has to be bad.
Well, that's the problem, is you don't like a lot of movies that are good, though. But I don't. This is Ace 2, right? I don't remember that receiving.
When Nature Calls.
Yeah.
I think people were okay, Jim, I think we're done with this.
That movie came out when I was 5. So when you're a little kid, all that stuff is hilarious. And at this point, it's just nostalgia.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, there's some crap that I'll watch that I know is that was kid crap. This is not good. But yeah, nostalgia. Yeah. Listeners on the loose, you pick the topic, you guide the show, 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Wanted to give a quick shout out to our buddy Brett from Be Jolly Lotion. He just sent us a really cool care package of some of his awesome CBD lotion.
Give it a shout.
Oh, very
big fan of the show. Awesome dude. And
I've heard good stuff about this lotion.
It's the greatest lotion of all. It's a game changer. It's so good.
And I've had CBDs that, just not strong enough where the lotion doesn't do a thing. So I'm looking forward to putting this on my body.
I think it's on your butt. I was like, what happened to your butt, man?
Well, listen, we get those anal Charlie horses, Steve, and I'm going to put lotion there if I need to.
I have not tried it there, and I probably never will. But
hey, listen, sometimes it's so painful, I'll try anything.
Well, see, you don't have to worry about your wife walking in on something like that. Like, I don't know if I'd want to have that situation where I have to explain to my wife, why are you doing that?
I don't think it would be a surprise to my wife to she find me doing something weird. Well, I mean, seriously, she's been married to me for so long. She's like, whatever.
I'll stick with putting the bee jelly lotion on my back and neck.
All right, good enough. All right, you do you. You know what I mean? You got to be comfortable. You got to be comfortable where you put your own stuff.
I am excited to hear what you think about it because I know that you said you've tried different ones. I did too over the years, and I've always thought they were okay at best, like some of those CBD lotions. And this one was just like, oh my gosh, this is just like a lifesaver.
Yeah, I got places where it's like, how cool would this be if this would make this better?
Nice.
So I'm going to give it a shot.
Well, Brett, you rock. We love you.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it, buddy.
Be jolly, everybody.
All right, well, we've got a big question that has to be answered involving Ryan Castle and Twinkies. What do they have in common? You're going to find out at 9:50 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. And now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and Twinkies have in common?
Contrary to popular belief, one day I will, in fact, expire.
When?
Wow.
I'm not on TikTok. I haven't been able to use that filter yet.
Whoa.
I'm talking about the Twinkie, not Ryan.
Oh, okay. I was a little worried about that. Okay. I wasn't sure where you were going there. Let me tell you something. I do not know about this. This would have been a great stocking stuffer. I don't think anybody knew about this, but apparently Hostess has been selling Twinkie-flavored Keurig pods for several years. I did not know about this. I mean, Twinkie-flavored coffee, yes.
I usually just get the basic Dunkin' Donuts, but I'm willing to give that a whirl.
Oh, come on. And also a Twinkie-flavored creamer is also available.
I think that would be even better because you could up the amount.
Yeah, well, how about both? Let's do it.
And it's only eat a Twinkie while doing it.
All right, I want to tell all the people in my life, if you're looking for something to get me, that's the thing to do it. And it's only for a limited run. Only available until July.
Merry Christmas,
That's how you
Dad.
know that your Twinkie expired. It's when the filling starts to taste like yogurt.
Yeah, the kernels.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I haven't got to that point. I don't think I'm old enough to get to that point, right?
So it's close to Father's Day. So it'll be like, Happy Father's Day, Dad. Here's some creamer.
Oh, yes. I would love it. I love Twinkies. I also, that would be Twinkies, the snack cake. Meanwhile,
creamer.
Yeah, Ryan Castle, he's got a 12-pack. I hope it's of Twinkies. That's coming up next.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
I remember I was confused by the Rev because the Rev's a crumbler, if I remember correctly, with his toilet paper.
Yep. I just crumple it in a ball.
I make it a nice folded toilet paper.
That's so much work for something you're just going to wipe your butt with.
Yeah, I just feel like it's like a little less risk of my fingers, getting hit with anything.
Yeah,
The crumble feels like there's lots of pockets where things can, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of room for error.
Yes.
Oh, I see. So you basically, you wrap your hands up like a fighter with toilet paper and then the crumble.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. If I file for bankruptcy, do I have to appear in court? That makes me nervous.
Going to court is never something that's easy to do. However, when you file bankruptcy, you usually only have to attend one hearing at the courthouse. Of course, I'll be there with you. And when you go to court, it's not before the judge. It's actually with the trustee or the trustee's attorney. One of the things that's critical in a bankruptcy is that you give your attorney and the court all of your information. You list all of your assets and all of your creditors. That's what we're trading for your discharge, is your true and honest disclosure of your assets and liabilities. And so the court hearing is just usually about a 5-minute deal where you show up and reaffirm and swear that all the information you've given the court and your attorney is correct.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. Are we close to building machines that are almost human? And can new technology give us superpowers? Find out on Super Sapiens. And in 1919, a British composer wrote the longest and most complex symphony in history. Conductors tried to perform it, but failed, declaring it cursed. Now a group of musicians will attempt the impossible, if they dare, on Curse of the Gothic Symphony. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.